Just checking the audio here, Stephen. You moved the mic.
Yes, me bad.
Get right into this, Stephen. We're just rocking round now, that jazz,
Hello and welcome into this Monday's edition of Movie News here at MBE. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, our co-host, the man with the fingers at his button at his fingers. It's John C. I was going to say something else and I changed my mind. John, that's not the only fucking gremlin in the works at the moment. Not just me. We're going to talk about this very quickly before we move on to what we're here for, and that's entertainment news. A lot of the community have been saying all day that they've had an issue with episode 1 of Patal Lock with the sound. John and I have been scratching our heads over the last few hours wondering what the hell's going on.
I've got a fucking clue, Stephen.
We can hear it fine. I know that other people that we know within the UK that we know have checked it out on app and checked on desktop.
And I think, is it Nitin who comments? I think she may be from London.
Yeah.
They stay in London.
Right, okay, I didn't know that. Right.
I think they do.
Yeah.
There was someone says in the community, I'm from London or some neck of the woods down south, and they can hear it.
I think it's a regional thing, and I think, John, you probably explain it better in terms of this processing of the video.
Yeah.
When that went up, it was like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, we uploaded the video, Stephen, and it took an enormous amount of time to get through the checking process for copyright.
Hours.
Over a day.
Yeah.
To check the
And I'm pretty sure
copyright.
You mentioned it earlier, John. You said it took for you to
it was Avatar,
upload
The Way of Water trailer.
Yeah,
it was doing the same thing, and I took it out of its hands.
And it triggered it to pass the process, but it was something definitely iffy.
It usually takes a couple of hours to pass copyright checks. If you know it's going to get blocked, it will be longer.
Yeah.
They like to rip the
weird
arse out
thing
of
was, it was on Patreon for a good 14-16 hours before it even got onto YouTube, and none of the patrons had issues. Well, none of them said anything, so I'm assuming, especially if you're on Patreon and you're obviously donating money, if you had any gripes with a video, you certainly would speak up about it. But certainly there was no issues on Patreon, and the live thing was a bit weird as well, John. We're not a big channel, but we certainly get more than one person in when it's premiered. We're only getting one person at a time.
That
it's
may
strange.
be down to me, to be fair. I maybe suggested you change the
wouldn't it be one person, no, man?
To change the
sort of at least 3 or 4 people coming in
premiere time
at 2 o'clock,
because the analytics within YouTube's analytical suite, if you like,
sweet spot,
suggest that the vast majority of our audience are online on YouTube,
on web,
roughly about 1 in the afternoon our time.
It's a strange
so
one.
We set it for 2 and there was one person in.
Now we're not going to really sleep much tonight because we've got already 5 in the can. And we don't know if they're going to work either, so it's an issue. Hopefully it was just a one-off. I think it was a one-off because the whole checking thing has been no issues since that time, so horses for courses, we'll just have to see.
Yeah, it was strange, Stephen. I don't understand what's happened. We can watch it, we can hear it, and someone in the community actually suggested, Stephen, that they had issues in the app, but then they went on to the browser version of YouTube, and it worked.
So maybe try that, guys. Maybe try the desktop.
Because it's definitely not copyright claimed, it's not blocked, we've not had any notifications, unless there has been a glitch in the matrix, it's been blocked, as you suggested may have happened, Stephen.
Yeah, I think there's a
they're
glitch
just
in
not
there,
informed.
Yeah.
And it is indeed. Because we've never heard of it being muted.
No, it's a strange one. I've never seen that. And
they don't mute it, they usually just claim the video.
Yeah.
They monetize it, or they can choose what happens with the revenue.
Normally when it comes to audio, they leave that up to us whether or not we want to proceed with maybe chopping a part out, but not the whole fucking video. Yeah. It's a weird one, but I mean, if it was maybe one person saying no sound, I would go, it's you. It's definitely you, because everyone else is fine. I just hope that Ashley
Rodriguez on the sort of community section, that wasn't before they started watching and realised that there was no sound.
I know, I felt sorry.
This is going to be awesome. Yeah. And then it's silence.
Yeah, I mean, but other people are saying this is a great reaction, so there is people hearing it, there is people not hearing it, and I think it's down to regional. Something's happened along the lines on YouTube Studio, Creator, or Studio as it's called now. But anyway, we'll move on, John, before I F up anymore. Margot Robbie, John, we're talking about.
Pardon me.
It's Margot Robbie's Pirates of the Caribbean movie cancelled. Oh, star reveals. This is coming in
the
from
star Robbie
screen. Right, yeah. Who's Robbie? I said that to you half an hour ago. It's like, who's Robbie? And you went, Margot. I went, all right, I'm thinking first names. But yeah, Margot Robbie says that her female-led Pirates of the Caribbean reboot movie with Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson has been cancelled by Disney. Now, there's been a new update on the status of Pirates of the Caribbean 6 at Disney, and it's bad news for the fans of Robbie and her potential female-led reboot, as the star herself revealed to Vanity Fair. Disney is no longer going forward with the idea. She has been involved in developing, along with Birds of Prey writer Christina Hodson, and this is a blessing. This is what Margot Robbie had to say. This is what Robbie had to say. We had an idea, and we were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led, not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool. But I guess they don't want to do it. John, I think it's best for Margot Robbie as well that she doesn't go down this road. Yes. One, she doesn't need this. She doesn't need this franchise.
She does not.
She's an accomplished and fantastic actor in her own right, and producer as well, if you want to go down that road into the sort of behind the camera stuff. But in terms of leading an already established franchise from Disney that's been going on for 20 years now, which was most famous by Johnny Depp, just move on. Captain Jack Sparrow, don't make any more. It's the same as the Ghostbusters thing they did in 2016. I don't mind a female-led cast. I will watch a female-led cast and have no issues if the story is an original story, an original potential franchise in the making, something that's well written and has great actors in it, female-led. That's what I want to see. What I don't want to see is them using established franchises like Ghostbusters or Pirates of the Caribbean. I think it's a disservice to female actors, John, if I'm being honest with you. That it's as if they're not capable of carrying a fresh idea, you know? Yeah,
Stephen, and it has to be historically accurate.
Yeah.
But this is an era, the whole piracy era, coming out of the south of England and Bristol, places like that.
Yeah.
Cornwall, and making its way over to the Caribbean, or the Caribbean. The Caribbean, as our American friends like to say, which was dominated by males. It just was, that's a fact. I'm not saying there wasn't any female pirates, there wasn't any female crew members during the piracy days when they were going and stealing gold and plundering and killing. And
it's just a fact of matter, yeah.
The fact, as you said, Stephen, is it was male dominated.
John, it's like rebooting Saving Private Ryan with female-led cast. It just doesn't sit right. It's not historically accurate.
Historically accurate, Stephen. And understand, going to the movies is about suspending your disbelief.
Yeah.
It's escapism, and it could have worked, Stephen. To be fair, I've got an image here, and look, it's probably more to do with Margot herself, to be fair, than the actual concept. But she does look. My dog's concerning me here.
But I don't think women looked like that, John.
No, they didn't. No, I mean, look at the hair right off the bat.
It's bleach blonde.
To be fair, I mean, that could have been. I want to say, is that maybe Keira Knightley's character, and they've just superimposed Margot on? She was in, obviously, the Pirates movies, and she was very
sequels,
good.
Up to a point anyway,
Yeah, she was, and obviously Orlando was in it to a point, then he bailed when he became too big. But she does look good, Stephen, in the sort of get up. Like Willy Wonka. Johnny Wonka. Yeah, it's Willy Wonka. It's actually better to me than Johnny Wonka. That was a shite joke, Orlando.
Yeah.
You're better than that, my friend. And of course, he's now getting his Willy out.
He's Johnny.
He's getting his Johnny out. He's going surfing in the US of A with it all out. What you doing, Orlando? Still love you, mate. You don't care. But Stephen, point I'm making is in terms of a sheer on a sheer visual level, she could certainly pull off the character. You can see there she's got the get up on. It's obviously heavily photoshopped. This isn't actually Margot Robbie playing this character. But still, you've got a general gist of what the character would perhaps look like. Could she pull it off? Does she have the raw energy to play a pirate to the same levels of a Johnny Depp? I hardly doubt it, Stephen. I highly doubt it, I should say. She's a very drama-driven actor. Let's be honest. Likes of I, Tonya, Wolf of Wall Street. Those are the kind of movies I associate her with. Once upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's the kind of characters, the kind of stories I want to see Margot Robbie involved with. Also Harley Quinn to an extent as well. There's been some real highs with that character in Margot. There's been some lows as well, and that was going to get me on to the next point, Stephen. You actually discussed it there. The writer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find her name. The writer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find her name.
It's there, John. It's
Christina.
Christina
Hodson.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey, by all accounts, Stephen. The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Not a good movie.
Oh.
God awful.
Oh, yep.
Female majority cast with a sort of token male in Ewan McGregor playing Black Skull, I think it was, or something. The villainous turn. It didn't work.
No.
The audience didn't connect with it, and that's a character that's already over with huge swathes of movie-going fans. Harley Quinn. They couldn't make that pop. My dog is really doing my nut in here.
It's his birthday.
Yes, it's his birthday, but he's raping his paw, and it's really getting under my skin.
Oh.
You then put her in the position of trying to replace Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Not replace Johnny Steen, because she wasn't going to replace Jack Sparrow.
No, it
would have been an all-new character.
They say a reboot, and then they say in another breath it's Pirates of the Caribbean 6. That's an actual sequel, if you numbering it if you want. But you're absolutely right, John. There's always going to be the issue. Yeah, exactly, and that's the natural thing. That's what I was going to say. You know, when you've got an established actor in place in a film franchise that's been going for 2 decades, it's only natural you're going to compare. And it was the same with Ghostbusters as well, although there was a massive gap obviously between that Ghostbusters 2016 Ghostbusters 2 from 1990, but still they're legendary films. They're memorable. People remember the performances of the actors that were playing in the original films, and it's always the same. That's why I don't want a Back to the Future reboot or sequel, another sequel or whatever. There's no need for that. John, I'm one of these people that don't understand reboots or remakes, I should say. I don't understand. I get that studios are there to make money. That's the purpose. That's what they want to do. But when do you draw the line on artistic sort of merit and not want to please the fans and stuff like that? It's just a machine of making money, and you're just regurgitating the same old shite, you know. And I think
that's what it's all about.
And it just doesn't appeal to me. I can't think of any remake that was better than the original. Any film ever. I can't think that. I mean, there's been sort of inspirational ones that have been based loosely off in the original film, I get. But when it's like shot for shot, or if it's using the same characters but changing their names slightly, I just don't understand that, you know. I'm not saying that this was going to be the case for the Pirates movie with Margot Robbie. It was going to be the same theme, obviously, with the Margot Robbie character playing some version of Jack Sparrow. She wouldn't have been called Jack. I don't believe she would have been called Jane Sparrow either. It would have been something. But there's still been the same kind of things going on, the same kind of stories going on and stuff like that, wouldn't it?
Stephen, I agree with you. There's no remake ever been better than the original. You think of Total Recall, you think of RoboCop, you think of perhaps Pet Sematary.
I'm not even watching that Quantum Leap series that's out just now.
Oh, is that out?
I cannot be arsed with that. It's not a patch.
It should work, Stephen. In theory, you've got more money, better technology. It should work. Modernising it for a new generation, it should work. But it doesn't, because it loses something palpable. The spirit. what made it special, the lightning in the bottle that they managed to capture, is gone.
John, you mentioned it though, it's a film of its time.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie, The Curse of the Black Pearl, I think it was called, was a perfect film for its genre. Yeah. It was a great film. I loved it. And that, you know me, John, I don't mind Johnny Depp. I'm not his biggest fan, but I did enjoy that film. I thought he was great in it, and I thought the rest of the cast, Jeffrey Rush, was it?
Jeffrey Rush, yes.
Orlando, Keira Knightley. Just the whole cast was fantastic. I also had Tom Hollander was in that as well. If I'm not sure, he was a snivelling one from it, yeah. But John,
the Mackenzie from The Office.
Mackenzie Crook,
Mackenzie Crook. He was in there, sort of like comedic duo. Stephen, what made those movies in the early days? And look, Pirates of the Caribbean wasn't even Pirates of the Caribbean by the end. They were still enjoyable movies in their own right. You could go and watch it. There was elements that were enjoyable, but for me, what made those movies so special was Johnny Depp taking on this larger than life, drunken, playing the fool but he's switched on, handsome character that was Jack Sparrow, imbuing all of these different hero sort of figures into this one character. A little bit of Johnny in there, a little bit of Keith Richards, bringing it all together. That's what made the movie so enticing a viewing
I think Johnny as well.
And you take him out, Steve, and it's gone.
I can't remember. Was it Jerry Bruckheimer or something like Meyer or something like that? It was the producer. It was could
have been,
who was in charge of it. I don't even think the studio had as much confidence in those later sequels where they were throwing people in like Keith Richards, Paul McCartney as well.
Was in there,
just putting famous names in there to try and draw the crowds in, because I don't think they had the faith in their writing at that point. So it just
don't get me wrong, Stephen. I think the last one was the one where it de-aged Johnny as Captain Sparrow. And he had this manoeuvre performed. I think it was Salazar's Revenge or something like that, and it was your man, blanking on his name, and I don't know why. He's a brilliant actor. Don't know what his name is. It may have been a guy from No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah, Bardem. Yeah,
Javier
Bardem. Yeah,
may have been him.
Yeah,
who played
he was
Salazar.
Yep.
That even had a moment where he hoodwinked him, spun the ship around, did a manoeuvre, and he kind of did that, swinging off the ropes. That was an epic moment, Stephen. But again, it's Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
it's his character who's at the centre of all of the great moments. Even in the poorer movies, he is the anchor for everything that's good in those poorer movies. The other things are all tangents, they're all sort of superficial to watch. We're there for Captain Jack Sparrow and his shenanigans. And when the whole cancellation thing came up because of Amber Turd, he was kicked basically out the door unceremoniously by Disney, Warner Brothers. Everyone didn't want anything to do with him, apart from Dior, and that's why I'm going to buy a bottle of Sauvage, or how do you say it again? Sauvage. I'll get the Elixir one for you, Johnny, just to support you, my friend. They were the only ones that stuck with him. But when he was kicked out the door, Stephen, the franchise should have been dead and buried there and then. And also there was talk of this all-female led one. There was talk of another spin-off quasi-sequel. Talks of continuing it on. It can't continue, Stephen. We've been speaking for about 20 minutes. If Johnny's not in it, the franchise is dead. They simply cannot continue with a Pirate. I don't want them to continue with a Pirates of the Caribbean movie franchise anyway. It was ever diminishing returns. They're only getting worse. He's now in his 60s, or he's knocking on 60. He doesn't have the youthful energy he had 20 years ago.
I want to see Johnny Depp doing different stuff as well, John.
When was it, 99?
The first one was 2003.
2003, so you're 19 years ago.
Yeah.
He'd have been in his early 40s.
Yeah, I mean...
late 30s.
If anything, it probably should have been a trilogy, a push.
It should have been, yeah.
And I would have accepted that, and that would have been enough. John, on a sort of a personal and a more sort of career-minded way, I want to see Johnny Depp doing other things as well, rather than commit himself to more pirate films that we've just regurgitating the same stuff. Man's a talented actor. He's been in the business for over 40 years now.
I'm loving what he's doing with music.
You look at his early stuff to his sort of mid-range stuff to the later stuff, and you're right with the Jeff Beck band. I think brilliant. John, he's still got a lot to offer in terms of cinema, and I hope he gets back to I don't think he's ever going to be at that peak point ever again. He doesn't have to be, though. He's nothing to prove. No. I'd like to see him doing some independent stuff.
Stevie's got a career stretching nearly 40 years, mid to late 80s onwards. 36, 35 years or something this guy's been in and around the business. He's been the teenage heartthrob with
Yeah.
the sort of cut and haircut, sort of hunky lifestyle. Everyone wanted to be him. He's became a fucking rock star when he was younger, obviously playing at clubs where Rivers Phoenix passed away. We were speaking about him the
Viper
other day.
Rooms, yeah.
The Viper Rooms. He's lived a colourful life, man. Just fucking doing what he wants, pissing it up.
It's funny. I mean,
Sort
but
of
what we're
fucking
saying about
Walsh
Johnny
and
is
Megapinks.
exactly what we want from Margot Robbie. We just
Yeah.
want to see them doing
What
the
ma-
independent
yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah,
what compels him, Steve,
Yeah,
ultimately.
yeah.
And I don't fully believe that Margot Robbie was compelled to give us a great Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It just doesn't feel like the right fit to me.
No.
The fit has to be right. You think of Marvel in recent times, Jonathan Majors as Kang. That feels like the right fit. Josh
Just something
Brolin
in
as
the back of
Thanos.
my head, whoever come up with this idea about the Pirates movie, other than who spinned it to Margot Robbie in the first place is, I don't know if it was just maybe a bit of
Maybe not.
vindictiveness, in terms of trying to get at Johnny Depp during that
Could
whole
have been.
trial. I don't know.
It may have been Margot because, as
Yeah.
you said, she is a producer in her own right now, Stephen. She is doing what Michael B. Jordan and the likes are doing, moving into producing, giving her that longevity for her career.
It's one of these.
Because she knows as she gets older as an actor,
Yeah.
the roles will disappear.
Well, yeah,
sadly.
but she's well.
She's still young. She's still
Exactly.
in
I'm
her 30s.
not going to put her on the sort of same pedestal as Kate Blanchett at the moment, John, but
Yeah.
she certainly does have. She's on the road to being that kind of actor, and I don't think she needs this either.
No.
That's one of the wisest things Disney have done in a very long time. Is not even go there. Don't even start production on something like this that they can't get themselves out of. Just back away from it and don't return to it.
No, you've got to respect it, Stephen, as well. I think Disney have read the mood music with Johnny. They've read the sort of popularity coming out of that court at that trial, obviously, with Amber Turd. They've realised that he has got a huge backing. It may be that it's an echo chamber, it's a sort of vocal minority on social media, online, if you like. But looking at the numbers that trial was getting, it was over 1 million people at times.
Yep.
This dog is going out this fucking room if he does that again. I don't care if it's his birthday or not. He's starting to grate on me. I have got zero patience for that box. You look at the 1 million plus people watching, most of them on Johnny's side. Disney must have been looking at that, must have seen the popularity of the guy. What is this dog doing? I'm going to fucking kill him.
It's a good job we're ending this show shortly.
Yes, yeah, it's a good job. I
Yeah.
have learnt to overcome external noises and not let that kick me out of my rhythm when I'm speaking about things. If this had been 2 years ago, I would have collapsed. There would have been no more. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by my fucking Labrador. Thank you, Harley. They must have seen the popularity of Johnny coming out of that trial, the sort of renaissance for the man, what he's doing with music, offers he's getting, realised this is not the right time to be doing a reboot, quasi-sequel, female-dominated Pirates of the Caribbean movie. There's a swell of love and appreciation for Captain Jack Sparrow because he's synonymous with that character. Don't do it. Back the fuck out. It's not going to be a success. Move on. Kill the franchise dead. It's had its day. Johnny can go off and do what he wants to do, and he doesn't have to fucking be getting his head nipped about Captain Jack Sparrow ever returning, and you don't get a god-awful female Pirates of the Caribbean movie. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So, Stephen, how about you, though? Final thing I would say on it, Disney reading the music and actually making that decision, that bodes well
Yeah.
for the future. Because we've seen this with Star Wars. They keep announcing movies under the Disney umbrella.
Does my head in, yeah.
And it keeps failing. Months will go, what's happening? We don't know. Steve, I don't think they announced Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie was dead. It just came out in a press release. No, he's not doing it anymore. Patty Jenkins, no, that's not happening anymore. Ryan Johnson's trilogy, that's not happening anymore.
They're good at telling you things are happening, but they're not telling you when things are cancelled.
That's why, but to be fair, this isn't Disney who have confirmed this. This is from Margot Robbie via Disney.
Yeah.
But it shows you that they are learning from their mistakes not to go ahead with productions like this. Kill it dead before it even starts. So in the end, look, I feel for Margot. I'm going to bring this screen back up because I just want to show how good the character could have looked. To be fair, she could have did a good job as a character on a sort of visual level, but the story ain't going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to be a flop. It's going to damage her legacy and her career ultimately.
Kill it dead. In a relationship with the writer as well.
Yeah.
This I can't remember her name. Is it Christina
Hodson? Yeah.
I think that would just end. Just there wouldn't be any more collaborations.
Yeah.
They've already had a turkey on their hands. They don't want a second one. To be honest.
Lemon.
Yeah, lemon. Yeah.
I've had a lemon. So ultimately, this is great news.
Woo!
This is great news. This is great news. There we go. The intro's away. My dog is about to be separated from that toy. This is great news. That they have made this decision. It's great for Margot, although she may not think it just now. It's just great news, Stephen. We can back out of this god-awful idea of making a sort of female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It's historically inaccurate. Just doesn't make fucking sense. Let it burn. Let it burn!
Stuff that doesn't make any sense.
4 blocks this way, 4 blocks that way. Get Bob Dylan in to play Captain Jack Sparrow. That's what we've ended with here. Bobby's here's what I found.
Bobby Dylan.
Bobby Dylan is currently indisposed in Las Vegas. I think he's coming on tour actually not long from now.
Yeah.
He may even be here just now, for all I know. Get him in to play fucking Jack before we get Margot in. Look, I love Margot. I think she's a great actor. But I'm glad, I'm happy. That's going to round it up though. What's your thoughts on the show? We have somehow managed to eke out 25 minutes?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
24 minutes of talking about Margot Robbie and her sort of love affair with Pirates of the Caribbean. The Pirates, just shorten it to Pirates, coming to an end. Did you see it? I did that there incidentally.
Yeah.
Pirates. Fucking shoot myself for that. What's your thoughts on it, man? What do you make about Margot Robbie not getting to do a female-dominated Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Do you agree with us that this is the best news you've heard since Third lost the trial against Johnny? What's your thoughts on any potential sort of further explorations of Pirates of the Caribbean as a franchise? What's your thoughts on Johnny Depp? Your thoughts on our discussion? Anything you've thoughts on my dog choking numerous times on a toy? Now he's sleeping when the show comes to an end. Fucking toe rag. Share your thoughts down below. If you've got anything to say at all, down below is the place to put it down in the comment section. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your retinas the very moment stuff drops, the very moment we go live on YouTube. If you want to do the same over on Twitch, it's the follow button and notifications button over on that platform just to see us go live. Sometimes 2 days a week, but mostly 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Monday through Wednesday. Regardless of what you do though, thank you for watching us, and all that's left to say is until next time, me and Stephen are done. Bye bye.